And welcome back. Today I'm flying out the Do-335 A-1. This plane sits at 4.3 BR and gets an attacker airspawn, which is very helpful. The Do-335 is a pretty straightforward plane, both in a figurative sense as well as a literal sense, because this plane is only good at flying in straight lines and obliterating anything that crosses its gun sight. I would not recommend getting into dogfights with this plane because it is simply garbage at turn. The main strength of this plane comes with its airspawn, which allows you to be above nearly everyone on the enemy team at the start of the match, so you can use your speed and dive performance to boom and zoom. You need to be disciplined with this plane. Target prioritization and patience are a must-have when flying the Do-335, because if you make even a simple mistake, you'll most likely be getting sent back to the hangar. Moving on to the match, those first two kills were pretty self-explanatory, just a bomber kill and a P-38 who was too slow to dodge. This is an 8-kill game, and the 4 matches after this will be 2 6-kill and 2 4-kill games. I start off by diving on a P-51, and he gets absolutely blown apart. The Mark 103 30mm on this plane is a great gun, and it disintegrates anything it touches, and you're going to see that a lot in this video, where the plane will just simply explode when a single 30mm shell hits it. So now I'm just diving on the remains of the furball, and I pick the P-47 out because he is climbing away, and he's also probably the most dangerous target here, and so I want to get him out first. And he doesn't dodge properly, gives me a pretty easy shot, and I take his plane apart. So yeah, now I'm just diving on the furball, trying to always keep an eye on the A6M above me, and he actually doesn't seem to be paying attention to me, so I'm good to keep diving on these guys. So it's just a P-26. I don't know what he's doing in this game, but yeah. I switch on over to the P-51 that is attacking my Tempest, and a bit of sloppy aim here, but I end up taking him out. And then I'm turning back around for the other P-51.
Thank you very much.
I do force ahead on here and kind of commit to it, which is kind of against my rules. But I wanted a high kill game. I had 6 already, and I got 7. I was able to get away from his head on with a kill and no damage. Moving on, we are over the enemy's airfield, and there's 2 guys left. And I was hoping to get 9 here, but you'll see in a second how that ends if you look up to the top of the screen where the tickets are. And yeah, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on them. It's a B-25 and an F-4U Corsair left. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for them to get out of AA range, because this plane is pretty susceptible to not just hits, but it is very fire prone, and once you get a fire set on this plane, you can't really put it out. So here, I'm diving on the B-25. I'm ignoring the F-4U. The B-25 is an easier target, and I'm going a bit fast, but this plane actually has pretty good high-speed control. So I take the B-25 out, and then I go back up. This Corsair is going to have nowhere near enough energy to pitch up for me, so I'm confident I can kind of bait him by going straight over his nose. And he takes the bait. He is going to be completely stalled out. All I have to do is just wait, and yeah, the game ends right before I can get my 9th kill. Pretty sad, but it is what it is. Moving on, we have a very quick 6-kill game. So I start off by turning towards the P-61. He's a bit more of an easier target than the P-38 to my left. I don't really want to deal with the P-38 as well. So I zoom in, and the P-38 doesn't really, the Black Widow doesn't really dodge very well. And although my aim wasn't the best, I'm able to take his tail off. Again, this 30mm is awesome. Once it hits, it hits hard. And so now I'm just kind of climbing over, picking my target. There is a lot of enemies below me, and I'm kind of waiting also to get behind them. So because if you dive like in front of them, I don't know how to explain it. It's easier to dive behind the enemy because it gives you more time on target, and they can't pitch up for you to take a shot. And so I blow up the P-51, and I have to kind of try and dodge the F4U to my right, but now I can go for the F4U. And he's occupied with the Yak-3 and he doesn't see me, and so just waiting a second, and I blow him up. And now I go back up, and those two Corsairs are not going to be fast enough to catch me. So I turn back over, looking for targets, and they're all around me. And this is where it gets a bit hectic. So I just real quickly go for the F4U, next one, and then the next one. I'm not able to get a kill on that guy, he J's out. And now the P-51 is here, trying to lead my shot. And this plane just doesn't really turn well enough at low speeds to pull lead for that. And so I only get a hit. And now, I'm just kind of spraying my 15 millimeters. Bit of bad aim. I'm also kind of adrenaline rush because of how crazy that field ball was. But now I switch back to my 30 mil and I set a fire on it. Is 5 kills in probably about 2 minutes. Now I'm turning back to the left toward the last 2 enemies down there. The P-51 gets taken out by the J-26, and now it is just a Corsair left. And I really want 6 here. I'm pushing my engine to try and get in front of this I-185, and the Corsair is just not going to be paying attention to me because he's in a dogfight with the Yak-9. Wing is kind of blocking the Corsair, but I'm able to see the target behind my wing thanks to the outline, and I get 6. Moving on, we have another 6 kill game. This one showcases the Do-335 a bit better since it's less chaotic with less furballs and has some energy traps in it. So I start off above the BF-109 and not just the BF-109, but like basically the entire team. And I'm contemplating diving on the LA-5 because he is a very easy target. However, if I dive on him, I will be giving the BF-109 my 6, so I kind of pull off of that. And now I'm just kind of looking for which target is the best to go to. The I-185 starts pitching up for me as well as the 109, but the I-185 realizes that he won't be able to get guns on me. However, the 109 gets a bit more greedy, and so I drop the flaps, I roll back over, and he is not going to be able to have enough energy to get the shot anymore. And he stalls out directly below me. Bit of bad aim here. I can't really negative G because of the flaps, but I end up getting a 30 mil right to his engine, and he is not going to be a problem anymore. So I'm switching back over, and I kind of lied when I said there wasn't going to be a furball this game, but once I get to where the furball was, it kind of clears out. So I switch over to the I-185, and the I-185 takes out the XP-50 in the head-on. I don't know why he committed, but now he is very slow and makes a pretty easy shot for me. And so I blow him apart. Now I dive, but I also see a J-22 on my left, and since he's higher, I decide to go for him first. Any plane, even though, no matter how bad it is, any plane that has altitude and speed on you is a big issue in props. So I go head on, and I whiff. So I have more speed than him, so I go up. And he's just not going to be able to pitch up for this. And he does the smart thing and breaks off. So I flip back over, and I'm now diving on the J-22 again. And he should have dove away steeper, but he didn't. And he just didn't dodge properly, he was too slow. And so I sent him back to the hangar, and now I'm onto the I-185. He's also not going to have enough speed to pitch up for this, and so it's a bit more aggressive, but I go straight over him. But now I have him completely stalled out for my teammate, and I set up a perfect bait. And the Sakine is now pitching up for both of us, and so I push ahead on. Not the best idea, I get hit a couple times, but yeah, my plane is just much better in a head-on compared to that. Switching back over to the IL-8. He is not moving. Very easy target. Take him out, and I switch over to the Su-6. I push ahead on with him. Wasn't the best idea. Took a couple hits there, but I didn't die. And all I gotta do now is just loop back over. The Key 61 dies because he also full commits. And now it's just kind of finishing off the Su-6. And my 30 mil doesn't get a hit there, only 15 millimeters. Doesn't do too much damage. But I can just kind of keep looping back over because the Su-6s are damaged. And he's not going to be able to get his nose on. So, just kind of spraying down, and he goes down. And that is 6. And these last 2 games are 4 kills each. So I start off by going for the B-25. Pretty self-explanatory. Line up a shot. He turns belly up to me and gives me an even easier shot. And I take his plane apart. He will pretty shortly die. And now I climb back up because I got a lot of enemies basically at my altitude to deal with. So yeah, I'm just kind of climbing, making sure I have enough altitude to deal with most of these guys. And there is a lot of enemies down there. It's very hard for me to choose a target, but I end up picking the J2M because he's going to be the one that causes me the most trouble in the long run. So I'm diving on him. P-51 starts pitching up for me. I kind of look back down, but he's not going to be able to get guns on me. The J2M turns, and he's just not really fast enough, and he doesn't dodge properly, and I get a fire set. Now I'm climbing towards the BF-109 and XP-50 that are attacking my bomber, and they're not going to be paying attention to me. And so I'm pretty... Excuse me, that's not an XP-50, it's a P-38. Anyway, these guys aren't going to be paying attention to me, so I first go for the BF-109. I overlead, actually, and I take the BF-109 out. These guns are actually very, very high velocity, and so you'll often see me overleading. Right here I actually underlead because of how far the P-38 was, and I'm just going to kind of pull off of him because there's other enemies at high altitude to deal with, and he's crippled, so I don't need to bother. He ends up crashing on the airfield later. Now I'm just kind of climbing above the F4U, but I realize he's probably going to die to that Spitfire. I'm not going to be able to kill him, but Spitfire misses. So I go for the kill steal. Not really. The severe damage up there doesn't really work like that. But a fire is good enough for me, and so I turn off and go for the last 3 remaining enemies. I have plenty of speed here. The P-51 is not going to be able to pitch up for me. Not a very worrisome target. I see the BF-109 going for the P-51, so I go for the Corsair instead. And I'm a bit too fast to get an accurate shot here. My rudder starts compressing at these speeds. And I miss. But I have plenty of speed to keep going back up here. And the F4U is not going to be paying much attention to me because he has 2 other guys on him. And that's 4. Moving on, this is just a 4-kill game. Yeah, this is the last game of the match. So I start off by diving on a B-25. This plane was designed for bomber hunting with the 30 mil. So taking down bombers is actually pretty easy. Just spray a couple around him, he goes down, and now I climb back up to fight the XP-50 and the LA-7, as well as climb above the rest of those enemies up there. Just kind of straight lining it right now, because I am a bit higher than all of them. And the XP-50 is going to be occupied with the T-18 here. So I'm going to be able to, if he baits him properly, be able to get a shot here. And that's exactly what happens. The XP-50 is oblivious to me. I'm able to get a pretty easy shot, and I take his wing off. Great bait by the T-18, and now the LA-7 has pitched up for me, and he has nowhere near enough energy, and so I can just go straight over him, drop the flaps, and go straight back down on him. And he's going to be stalled out perfectly directly below me. textbook energy trap. And that is 3 kills right off the bat. And now, I'm a bit lower than the guys to my left, so I'm turning away. The Yak 3 is coming for me. But now I'm just closing on the B-25. And yeah, this kill is pretty self-explanatory. And now I want to take a quick moment to thank all of you guys for the support. The channel has had a blow up recently, getting lots of views and likes, and I wanted to say that I really appreciate all of the positive feedback and comments on my videos. I try and do my best to respond to all of your guys' comments and suggestions, and if you have any suggestions, like planes I should fly, or any suggestions in general about War Thunder content like at all, I would love to hear them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.